What's up everybody, I'm Seth Fowler and today I'm reviewing the undercover Gyakusou Nike Pegasus 35 Turbo. First of all, huge thank you to Phelan B-Boy on YouTube and Mitsuji on Twitch for helping me with the pronunciation of this particular brand or name, because there was no way in hell I was gonna get this right. Also, quick shameless plug to my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/Seth Fowler. I do a lot of sneaker discussions, live cops, and of course sneaker sketches. So if you guys would like to check any of that out, it's linked in the description below. But onto the sneaker itself, the Gyakusou Pegasus 35 Turbo is one of my most anticipated sneakers for the first half of the year. And honestly, it's definitely not one of the most hype sneakers in the world, but it's a shoe that I've really been excited about because I love the Pegasus 35 Turbo. So when I heard there was a collab coming and actually got to see pictures online, I was super excited about it because I think this is a great looking sneaker. Now, to be fair, it's a bold look and it's definitely not for everyone, but for someone who wants to have a sneaker that I can wear casually and also run in every so often, this is a great shoe for me. So because this sneaker is a collaboration, it does cost a little bit more. It's $200 at retail, but for the extra money, you do actually get a new lacing system and some slightly more premium materials. So starting off around the toe of the sneaker, you've got this gray nubuck panel, which looks pretty good. Glued to the top of the panel and running down the center of the shoe, you've got this really dark maroon or brown piece of fuse overlay. And as you can see on top of the fuse overlay, you've got the word Gyakusou printed in white. I think you could probably already tell, but the overall aesthetic of this sneaker and the design inspiration of this shoe is very Japanese. Obviously, this sneaker was designed by a Japanese company and that's where the whole aesthetic comes from. I've actually got to say that this sneaker couldn't have come out at a better time because I'm going to Japan for the first time in April, and this is a sneaker that I'm definitely going to have to break out. One of the bolder details on the shoe is this matte yellow fuse overlay, and it definitely has sort of a skeletal feel to it because it outlines the different panels of the shoe. This was definitely the detail that drew me to this colorway over the other colorway because I just love how much it stands out. Underneath all these other panels, you've got this thin black mesh that actually makes up the entire upper of the shoe. It's insanely breathable and surprisingly comfortable. Moving up on the sneaker, you find probably the biggest difference between this shoe and the regular Turbo, other than colorway of course, and that's this brand new lacing system. This shoe doesn't actually have standard laces. Instead, it has this sort of drawstring system which you tighten up by just tightening up on the drawstring. It does actually seem to work pretty well, and even though I think I'd prefer the fit of regular laces, one thing I really love about this is that you can actually clip the end of the drawstring onto the bottom of the laces so it doesn't flop around. So it's actually a little bit easier to run in. I actually also really like the way this drawstring system looks. It's got this very utilitarian feel to it, which I really dig. Around the sides of the tongue, you've got these dark gray 3M accents that really pop when you hit them with a flash. Underneath the laces, you've got a very thin black mesh tongue with more of those 3M accents and also this green fuse overlay panel with a Nike swoosh. Moving inside the sneaker, you've got this dark gray mesh sock liner that's pretty much exactly the same as what you have on the regular Turbo. It feels great on foot, it's very well padded, and the heel definitely locks you in. The insole comes in dark green with the words Gyakusou, Gyakusou International Running Association by Undercover Lab printed in white on the heel. As for fit, I feel like the Gyakusou Nike Pegasus 35 Turbo does seem to fit like the standard Pegasus 35 Turbo. For me, that's true to size. For you, it might be something different. If you have a chance to try on the shoe for yourself, or at least another Pegasus 35 Turbo, make sure to do that to make sure you're getting the right size for you. Continuing back on the sneaker, you've got this thicker black foam panel for added durability. You've also got one on the medial side of the shoe, more around the arch of the foot. Overlaid on top of that panel and on top of the black mesh as well, you've got this bright white Nike swoosh. Unlike the regular Pegasus 35 Turbo, where the Nike swoosh spills over onto the midsole, this time around they kept it as a much smaller detail. As you move farther back on the sneaker towards the heel, you've got more of that matte yellow fuse overlay. And then as you move around to the heel of the sneaker, you've got more of that dark gray nubuck and this bright yellow accent running down the center. Then continuing down on the sneaker, you get to one of my favorite parts of the entire shoe, and that's this insanely comfortable dual layer foam midsole. This time around, the midsole comes in that same sort of dark maroon color we found on the toe, and I definitely would have preferred maybe a white or a brighter color because I just don't love this dark maroon, but I don't think it's bad. It's definitely just a personal preference, and I don't think it ruins the overall look of the shoe. The top layer of foam is the insanely soft Zoom X that they actually use in the Nike 4%, and then the bottom layer is Nike React, even though it's mislabeled as Zoom X. This combination of foam gives you an insanely comfortable ride while not feeling unstable, and I absolutely love the way it feels on foot, both for lifestyle wear and for performance running. Some people have said that they don't love the shape of the midsole because it kind of comes to this point or horn in the back of the shoe, and I've got to say I don't really mind it. The one thing that does kind of bug me though, at least on the pair that I've worn for a couple months, is that in the back area of the horn where the two foams actually meet, there is some separation because I think I caught it on a step, or maybe it just started to separate on its own over time, but this is not the most durable area of the shoe, and that kind of sucks. It's not a huge deal, but honestly it doesn't look that good, and over time I think the separation might actually grow farther down the shoe. Oh, and if you haven't already noticed, this foam creases incredibly easily. In fact, if you look at the promo images on Nike.com, the foam is already creased. There's pretty much nothing you can do about it. And then finally, moving to the bottom of the sneaker, you've got this black, white, and yellow outsole. The black and yellow portions of the outsole are rubber, where the white portion of the outsole is actually React foam. Overall, the Gyakusou Nike Pegasus 35 Turbo is an excellent sneaker and one that I'm very excited to rock. Seriously, all my Japanese viewers out there, if I've pronounced it differently or wrong like 3 different times in the video, I totally apologize. I suck at pronunciation apparently. The Nike Pegasus Turbo is an incredibly comfortable sneaker, and if you like the way this collaboration looks, I definitely suggest picking it up. It doesn't look like this collaboration was too insanely popular, so there are still pairs available on Nike.com. So if this is a pair you want to grab, you shouldn't have a hard time copying. But that pretty much wraps up the video for today. Now I would love to know your thoughts on the Gyakusou Nike Pegasus 35 Turbo and whether you'd ever consider grabbing a pair for yourself, so make sure to leave those comments in the comment section down below. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Please make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, subscribe down below if you haven't yet, and I'll see you all in the next one.